Welcome to Box of Chocolates with your host, Sammie Rax, where you never know what you're going to get. And today we are going to be reviewing / recapping Netflix series, limited series called Dahmer, Monster True Story, something like that, the title. You all know the one I'm talking about. It's got Evan Peters. It's got Niecy Nash. It's all over everything, so let's talk about it. First things first, I have tried to record this. I have actually recorded this like 3 times, and I go like way overboard, way into detail. I find out new information about the real true story, and I'm like, okay, I should correct this and that. And it's just bananas, okay? So when I first saw the series, I watched it as if it was going to be based in fact, because this is a long-standing, story. This has happened in the 90s when it was all discovered. So this is not new information. So I just kind of assumed that what I was going to be watching was going to be based in fact. I don't actually know all the details, never got into what he was up to, never looked into it. I was born in the 90s. I heard about this guy who's a cannibal. That's really all I needed to know. I didn't really deep dive. So when I was watching reviews after I watched the series, to find out that so much in the show is not even close to being accurate, let me tell you, it's been like every time I watch something else, every time I open, the internet to look and see what's up with this, there's more information. I read more comments. I see more things about how this wasn't actually accurate, that wasn't actually accurate, and I don't like it. It cheapens it for me because, I'll get into that. I'll tell you why in just a sec. So obviously, if you haven't figured it out already, spoiler alert, I will be spoiling some of this probably. And I will go ahead and tell you, if you want to know the facts of the story, look up the facts. I am not going to present the facts to you because, like I said, I keep finding out new information every time I open the internet. So go research and do the facts for yourself. One thing I did find that was really inaccurate, that I hated, that just messed it all up for me. Niecy Nash's character is based in falsehood. She was actually, the woman's name is Glinda. Glinda was a real person. But Niecy Nash, whom I love, by the way, she's amazing. I'll probably review one of her other shows. But Niecy Nash delivers this amazing performance, heart-wrenching performance. She lives right next door to Jeffrey in this apartment. She can smell everything through the vent. She can hear everything through the vent. She's called the cops and talked to Jeffrey and all of this stuff, right? Well, the real woman, Glinda, lived in an entire building next to him, not right next to him. And I don't like that because it was gut-wrenching, heart-wrenching to see this woman right next door hearing this. And yes, I get it needs to be dramatized because it is a show, it's for entertainment, but it's based on such a real thing that happened, and it's mortifying if you just tell the truth. Apparently there was a woman named Pamela who lived across the hall, not next door, but across the hall from him, and they were actually friendly, in real life. So I always thought, why didn't the show just show the reality of people not suspecting him? Why didn't they show the reality, the eeriness that would come with he's visiting this lady, bringing her sandwiches and her husband, and they're none the wiser? That's equally as terrifying in my opinion. So I just don't think that it was necessary to make a real character into a fake character, if that makes sense. Another negative about this show that I didn't really like, towards the end, it was kind of dragging. They did a lot of like speeches, and I think we could have done with just like one speech. Like, I legitimately, after a couple of scenes, couple of speeches, I like fast forward through the rest of the speeches because they were boring. Like, they tried to keep that as accurate as possible, and we all know speeches can be long, and like, it just was like a weird, for me, it's like, okay, it's a show, we gotta keep the show moving, we get it, it was one of those. They really, so like I was saying, they really, it was interesting. It seemed like there was like a little bit of a perhaps political undertone taken on by the makers of this show that seemed to be leaning in different directions at times. And I'm not a fan of politics in my entertainment, and I'll just leave it at that. Can't really say for sure if that's what they were doing, but it kind of felt like it was like that. That's really my negatives I have there. Oh, there's another negative. Sorry, but I just have to say, I didn't like how they kind of, and when I say they, I mean like the makers of this series, they try to almost like make you feel bad for Jeffrey because he is from a troubled past. It seemed that way to me because they really spent a lot of time in the beginning recapping his childhood, and I felt like, in a way, blaming his parents. Not to say that his parents are like, not to say that they are not at fault for being bad parents, because they are. Okay, they sucked. They probably had a huge hand in a lot of his issues. The problem that I take whenever a piece of media or like a show or a movie or something depicting a real life person, and then we're going to go back in their history and just like basically say, okay, the parents did X, Y, and Z. Oh my God, he's kind of not guilty because of these things. It bothers me because everybody goes through hard times in life. A lot of people are from even more messed up situations than him. Okay, most people, in my opinion, I don't know anything, I'm not like an expert, but what I'm saying is, from my understanding of like how the world works, a lot of people come from slightly messed up to severely messed up situations, and they don't grow up and kill people. So, I mean, there's that. Also, the angle of like, oh, he must be mentally impaired. I also don't like that as an excuse, because there are tons of mentally impaired people that are not evil man-eaters. They're not evil. They're good-hearted with mental impairments. So I just kind of feel like the show tried to make excuses for his behavior a little bit, and I didn't like them painting that picture. I would have much rather they like just told the facts. Yes, he went through X, Y, and Z, but like, he is the one who has the problem. At a certain point, we all have our own choices to make in this life. We can all make a choice to get help, make better decisions. Inside, we should all know better at some point or another. And if you start letting people get off the hook because of how they were raised, that is a dangerous path to walk down. Okay, so now for some positives. So before I wrap this up, some positives. The first episode, really engaging. Like I said, the whole thing was really mortifying, heart-wrenching, gut-wrenching to watch. that is 100%, I think, the goal of a show like this. It made it feel real to me. I felt like I was really there with these people. I felt horrible for these people, and just knowing what's going to happen. I mean, they did a really good job of portraying this evil. I mean, Evan Peters, he did a wonderful job, absolutely wonderful, portraying the charismatic nature along with the awkward nature, putting it together. It's like this guy was likable, and you could tell he was a little nerdy and like, but at the end of the day, his real, weapon to luring in people was his charisma. He had it. And Evan Peters did such a good job. There were even times where I was almost fooled, and I was almost like, oh my God, Jeffrey he's not gonna kill this guy. He's gonna do better. I can see, he seems like he's turning a new leaf. Maybe he's, gonna at least save this guy. Wrong. Didn't happen. It was absolutely horrible. That's positive. It was, the show did a good job. It was all shot like very dark. I kind of liked it because it gave the ambiance. I really like when he's at night and he's going to the bar to pick up dudes, and he's in his dirty, dusty apartment. And, it was hard to get through, in a sense of like, it really did its job painting the picture. The performances were incredible. Everyone who played a victim of Jeffrey really, every single one of those actors acted their butts off. It is definitely good performances throughout. Honestly, I liked it. I know I said a lot of negative things about it, but I honestly liked it. Like I said, I didn't really like the approach, but if you go into it purely seeking entertainment and nothing else, then you will like it too, I think. Definitely only for mature audiences. This is not a show for the young, impressionable people out there, or if you can't handle these kind of subject matter. It's really not, another thing, it's not as gory as I thought it was going to be. It's a lot of implied violence, so it is palatable in that way. So I'm not really a huge fan of gore, so I appreciated that. But there is some, obviously they got to put some in there. But just the thought of what this man did is like beyond disgusting, beyond. Well, you guys, I think I finally recorded this review. So if you're hearing this, yay, we finally did it. We got through it. This is actually my first ever episode of Box of Chocolates. So please do subscribe, like, share, comment, give me your thoughts, your opinions. What did you think about this? How much information do you know about this story? I will be posting regularly. I'm going to be giving you guys something, unexpected each time. Hopefully that's the whole idea. And I would love for you not to miss anything. So please subscribe, hit the notification bell. And I'm just really, really excited about this, you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great rest of your day. Be safe, be sweet. Talk to you later. Bye.